Okay, Jason Mumo, Jam on the Fly, and I just wanted to show you my Hobby Lobby craft fur fly. And I call it Hobby Lobby fly because basically went to Hobby Lobby and got myself a skein of craft fur. This is just a big old sheet like you buy off of a skein, and nice beautiful colors on this one. This one here, I put together a brush, and if you see my brush videos, you'll understand what we're doing with the brushes. And basically made a brush out of that. I also got another one that's kind of a really neat looking fur, like a grizzly, and it's the longest fibers I could find there in fur or craft fur, and made a brush out of that one. And out of these two brushes, basically put together this fly. And that's why we'll call it the Hobby Lobby. There's we used a fish mask, the fish skull masks, and besides that, that's about it. It's a couple turns of craft fur, and nothing moves in the water like craft fur. Let me zoom in on this here, and you'll be able to see exactly what I'm talking about, and take a good look at this. And that's the fly, and I will give that a little spin. What I've been doing with it, I'm going to put this other one in real quick, is I've been actually doing that exact same thing, but just adding what I call a hot spot tail. So if you look at that fly there, that is a nice hot spot tail. So, it ends up giving you a beautiful looking fly. And let me show you how we tie that. We're going to start with a Gamakatsu SC15 size 1 hook. That seems to be the best for the length of fur that you get, or craft fur that you get on the craft fur, the stuff I had bought from, oh, let me grab my scissors here. The stuff that I get from Hobby Lobby. So for the length that you get, that hook's probably the best to tie on. Gonna take, we'll do a red one, or the red accent color. Basically gonna take a cut of the long craft fur. Nice, beautiful stuff. This comes really nice for tailing material. So we're gonna use that. Gonna pull out that chunk. Again, I usually use my spring hair for a measurement, but that's pretty much what I'm looking for. I'm looking for somewhere in the 3-inch type of a minnow. That looks about right to me. And again, we're just going to tie that in place. Cut off our excess, basically just putting a tail on this. And then the piece that you have left, why don't you just go ahead and pick out the longest fibers of that chunk, like that, put them together, and again, lay them in, tie that right on top. I'm going to wrap back to the bend, just like that, and I'm going to come underneath and just hike that tail up a little bit, maybe 1 or 2 times, and we're ready for our brush. I'm going to go with the softer brush first, a little bit, maybe a little bit longer fibers, black tips, and we're going to tie that in just like that. And that's what makes this fly so adorable. Everything's tied, everything's wrapped in with a brush. And if you ever used brushes before, you realize that the durability is insane. These I could use these from anything from very destructive fish, whether it be bluefish or snook, or whatever you want to use, whatever you want to fish with. And we're going to tie that off. I only did about 2 wraps or something like that, 2 or 3 wraps, something Something like that. You're just trying to get a good look to it. If you could see, I have that little bit of wire sticking up. That happens all the time. That's what you want. You're going to take that little wire, I'm going to just roll that with my pliers right around and simply tie that down. Again, take your brush, dog brush, pet brush, whatever you want to call it. Some people use for dogs, some people use for cats. Either way, it's a nice hairbrush. And comb that out, and you can see how that just blends right into that tail. Now we're going to take our next brush, which is the more grizzly looking type of craft fur, and we're going to tie that in. We're going to tie that in right here, and I'm going to tie that back to the same tie-in point, wrap it in. You can see that it's absolutely ridiculous how adorable this is because it's all wire wrapping in your craft fur. So as you wrap, just simply pull this back, pull back the fur, bring that up in. We're going to find a little disconnect here. We'll bring our thread through there. We'll cut off the excess. And again, find that little tip. You see that little tip there, the little piece of wire. Again, grab that with your pliers, roll that the rest of the way around, and wrap back onto that piece. And we're going to form a nice little head here. And at this point here, I like to just build up a nice head, just like that. Come back, build up a little bit of bulk there, and we will whip finish our fly. Is pretty much the tying portion of it is complete. And of course this is all going to get Bondix together. So I have a neat little Bondix application type of situation. Let me give some light on this subject so you can see what we're doing here. Again, let's go with the comb. We're going to comb this out just like that. Going to get some Bondix up on that head. And what we like to do, we're going to take a number 5 mask. Take a number 5 fish mask. And we're going to grab one of them and have it ready. We're going to take our Bondix. If you never work with Bondix, it's amazing stuff. It's really the best thing that I have found for fly tying. It's you almost cannot live without it once you start using this stuff. Unbelievable. See how we're letting that run around the hook like that? Beautiful. And we're just going to take our mask and we're going to lay it right over, and because we have ourselves a clear mask, we're going to be able to cure that right through the clear mask with the light. Light will penetrate right through that mask and cure itself just like that. Give ourselves a nice little streamer. And nothing moves in the water like craft fur. I don't know what it is, but this stuff is just amazing. Okay, that should be plenty. That's rock solid on there, not going anywhere. We're going to turn this upside down. Again, we had already brushed it out. Now I'm just going to snip and pretty much clear that hook. I want to clear that baby so we have no interference whatsoever with the hook. Just like that. Let's get rid of that. Comb that out like that. Beautiful. You can even take a little bit more like that. Beautiful. And again, if you want, you can run your comb through it. And you see we got that nice hot spot tail. See, this thing's folded. You're just going to see a little bit of a hot spot in the tail, which would tie it back into the minnow itself. Now, also to accelerate that, we're going to use a couple eyes here, and we got the good old red tail. Well, we're going to add a little bit of the super glue gel. Teeny little dot there. And we're going to use a pin here, and we're going to pick up a couple of these eyes. There's a nice red eye. Just to bring out the red in the tail. And you can see how nice that is. Got a little excess glue there. We'll just scrape that off. No big deal. And you can see that just enhances that. Enhances the tail. The eye matches the tail. Pretty neat deal. Does it do anything for the fish? I have no clue. You'd have to ask them. Again, a little drop of glue. Grab your other eye. And let's get this baby in place. Just like that. And I'm not a big one on direction of the eye. Oh man, that baby did a flip on me. We'll get it back in there. There it is. Okay, there we go. And that's pretty much the fly. That's pretty much it. That's what we call the JM Hobby Lobby craft fur streamer. And if I can wet that up for you, you really see what you're getting out of that. Basically, a nice bulkhead pattern that will just do the old hoochie coochie, because like I said, nothing moves like that craft fur in the water. And that's it. The JM Hobby Lobby streamer. JM on the fly. I'm out of here.